Micah Davis here with us this afternoon. And Micah, you all are 1-1 headed into this weekend's game against Arkansas Tech. Got a game that you almost lost against Elizabeth City State, a game that you almost won against Northwestern State. Just how do you all feel, 2 games in the season, especially considering how both of those games ended?
Oh, I mean, we're putting up big numbers. We're killing ourselves on offense. Defense is playing pretty good right now, but offensively wise, we're hurting ourselves. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're turning the ball over a lot. We're putting up big numbers though. If we can just cut down on some of the turnovers, we'll be all right.
You've got a familiar foe this weekend in Arkansas Tech. You talk about cutting down on the turnovers, but are there some other things that you think that you can focus on against Arkansas Tech that will help Delta State get to 2-1?
We're just going to have to, be able to protect. They run a lot of cover zero and stuff like that. So if we can protect and then execute the plays, I think we'll have a good chance of beating them this weekend.
And I said 2-1. I apologize. It'll be to 3-1. You just came off a game against Fort Valley where you were able to kind of work on some of those things, easier win, if you will, according to the score. What were you able to kind of take out of that Fort Valley State game that would be of some assistance to you against Arkansas Tech?
The offensive line did a good job of run blocking. Running backs ran real well this weekend. The receivers call as well. Just like I said, we just hurt ourselves with penalties. The turnovers. But we're taking that into practice this week, and we'll work hard at that.
One more question. We talk about how in the last year or so, and it's been a little longer than that, Delta State has so many weapons on offense, so many different guys that can take the ball and do big things with. As a quarterback, you get a lot of questions or requests saying, hey, I'm open, or I can get the ball more, I can do more things. And how does it feel having all those weapons at your disposal?
Not really. Not many people will say that. Occasionally, we'll talk about it when we get in the huddle or something. If we come back to that same play, I'll look for it. But everybody's pretty humble about it. They just know when they get the ball in their hands, they're going to be, they're dangerous with it, and I'm excited for that because that just boosts everybody's morale. Just knowing if it gets into anybody's hand, they're likely to score. So it's an exciting feeling to have that many tools on our offense.
David Cain, the cross-country coach, men and women at the University of Alabama at Huntsville. How are you doing this afternoon?
Doing great.
Coach, you just came off of a meet up in Huntsville, the Fleet Feet Earl Jacoby Invitational. Your men finished first, the women finished fourth. You've got to be proud of their efforts in that meet last week.
Yeah, I really felt like our team competed very well, and I was really proud of the men's team being able to pull out the team victory on the home course. That's always exciting to do.
You had your first meet of the season was the Memphis Twilight up in Memphis, of course. Your men, of course, placed very well, 5th place in a big field that included a lot of D1 schools. The women not as strong. Last year, after winning the GSC title, of course, you lost your top runner, Jennifer Sharono, and now you've got other people who are coming up behind her trying to kind of get back in that groove. Talk about what's happening with your women's team right now and where you feel they are in this early part of the season.
Yeah, well, we certainly had a great women's team last year. We were very deep and led by some great seniors. Our top 3 girls were seniors last year, so we definitely have some big shoes to fill, and got a lot of young girls trying to step in and help the team, and we're slowly progressing. We've kind of been hampered the first few weeks with some illness and waiting for one of our freshmen to get cleared through the clearinghouse. So we really haven't been able to put together the full team on the same day yet. So the first couple of meets we've struggled a little bit, but I do think that in the next couple of weeks, once we get everybody on the course together and healthy, I think that we're going to be a pretty solid team.
Again, we talked about the results of the men's team. A 5th place finish in Memphis, won the event in Huntsville. You've got several runners, Josh Mosher and the freshman Blaze Benz. Talk about him and talk about your men's team and your top runners on that team.
Yeah, well, our men's team has got a great dynamic. We've only got 4 returners from last year, but all 4 of those guys just came back from the summer in fantastic shape, and the team is certainly led by Josh Mosier, who's a 5th-year senior, and to go with those 4, we've got 5 tremendous freshmen, and certainly that group is led by Blaze Benz. And I think having Josh Mosier to train with and kind of bring him along, Blaze has progressed really quickly. He just ran a tremendous race at our home invitational this past weekend. Josh and Dante Dorsey and Blaze Benz were in the lead pack with 3 other guys from other teams, and at the 3-mile mark, Blaze and Josh decided to drop the hammer and go, and Blaze had an extra gear. He just really he smoked the last mile. I think his last mile was a 5:12, and just kind of pulled away, and it was just a great performance by a young freshman. And from a team standpoint, it was pretty sweet to have a 1-2-3 finish with Blaze and Josh and Dante sweeping the top 3 spots.
Robyn Wade, goalkeeper for the Lady Bucks of Christian Brothers University. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. 2-0-2, not perfect, but you still haven't lost yet, and better than that, you've only given up 2 goals this entire season. Talk about your play, and more so than that, talk about the way the defense has played for you all, because a lot of times those players don't get the glory as much as the goalkeeper does as far as the statistics and things of that nature.
Yeah, my team's doing very well, especially in the defense. I've been working hard, and I've apparently made some really good saves, as I'm told. But it's all, I gotta give credit to my whole team. I couldn't do it without my team, and the defense in front of me. My backline's been doing great.
Of course, West Florida has been the top of the league the last several years. North Alabama playing very well, but the way you all have played here in early going, it seems like there's little to no fear as far as wanting to accomplish your goal of winning the Gulf South Conference.
Yes, so that's our main goal. And there's a lot of great teams in our conference, especially West Florida and North Al. But I hope our team just keeps playing as good as they're doing and keep it up and getting better. And we'll just see how this year goes.
Talk about ties. Do you feel great about them? Do you feel as bad as a loss? How does it feel when you end up with a tied match as opposed to winning or losing?
Well, a tie, of course, it's not what you're aiming for when you go into a game, but depending on the situation, I tend to like ties when there's no goals involved, and as long as we're not losing, anything's better than a loss.
And you've got 4 games coming up, starting this Friday against Montevallo. You're on the road. Now, you've come off of 3 straight home matches, but you've got a tough slate ahead with you with the 4 road matches, including your first 2 league matches. Talk about how you all are preparing to get ready to take on that tough task.
We've talked about it, and we know Montevallo is going to be a hard game. We're getting ready, and we're training hard here at CBU, and hopefully everything will go well. But we're all working really hard, and we're going to put everything we got into these games.